Are you looking to stay informed about what's going on in Madison without the media spin? Well, here's the latest news from the Wisconsin Assembly Chambers brought right into your home, directly from the office of your representative, who truly values his constituents' feedback and in always working hard on the issues that matter to you. Welcome to the Ramthun Report.
Hello fellow patriots, welcome to our 18th episode, and this week we have a lot of developments that you need to know about. This week's hot topics include an update from the Ways and Means Committee on tax reforms and state budget developments. We also have an update on the 5 vaccine bills from last week's public hearing and what happened as they move forward in the next step of the bill process. And we end our episode with some very crucial news on bills to stop outside money in elections, protecting your Second Amendment rights in Wisconsin, and getting people back to work, all heading up to the governor's desk. If you are looking to join us in the fight for your constitutional rights, please help us by sharing out this episode so we can get more patriots informed on what's happening here in Madison. So here is Representative Ramthun to give you an update on some important developments on taxes that you should be aware of.
Hello everyone, and thank you for taking time to review the latest Ramthun Report. Some quick updates for you from the week so far. It was a great week, a very busy week, and boy, I really hope some of the things we did in the Assembly come to fruition. Not in particular order, and yet maybe in order. We had a public hearing on Tuesday with Ways and Means, and we talked about 3 bills in particular, Assembly Bill 156, 223, and 227. The thing about these 3 bills within Ways and Means, which is the taxation arm of our legislative body, I'm a member of this committee. We also had announcements this week about a projected $4.4 billion in tax revenues between now and 2023. So 2 things are in play. These bills speak at tax reduction elements. We're going to actually make physical changes, and we've got more of those types of bills coming. These are things I'm pushing really hard because one of the things I wanted to address in Madison was taxes. We are currently 26th in the nation, which is not a good place. Yes, it's right in the middle, but to be in the top 10, we got to get up into the 40s as far as how we're ranked as a state in this country. We got a ways to go. So these bills represent taxation reduction. The surplus of $4.4 billion is in play with this. It gives us an opportunity to give some money back through tax cuts, perhaps address critical issues like roads and transportation. Perhaps we've got the rainy day fund because everybody's a little concerned about recessions after all of the stuff that's been going on. So we've got places to go and ways to address the 4.4, but suffice it to say, it's got to be given back to the people because that's where it came from. We're proving that the taxation is too great. We have to tax less. And
we hope you see that there is someone here in Madison looking to keep the government's hands out of your pockets and keep the government from wasting money. Next, we address the developments on the 5 vaccine bills from last week and the developments on the transgender sports bill.
Hello everybody, a quick update on 2 committee meetings I had this week. They were both executive sessions, which is the last step within committee to move the bill to consideration to the Rules Committee, which allows it to be considered for a floor session, which is a vote to maybe make it law. So we're getting close. The first item I had was the executive session on the vaccination bills. We had 5 bills heard last week, 299, 303, 309, 316, and 347. That all passed party line vote. I'm hoping that they will be scheduled for the floor next week, and I'm hoping that the governor, when he does receive them, does give consideration to all of them. I hope they get passed. For the hearing that day, I got to tell you, the turnout was massive. We had the full Grand Army of the Republic, which is one of the largest conference rooms we have in the Capitol for committee hearings, was packed to standing room only. I've never seen it as full as it was. And then we had 2 overflow committee rooms, which you can get quite a few people in there too. We had 2 of them. Normally we have 1 overflow just in case things get a little tight. This meeting had 2, and there were still people in the hallway. So it was a tremendous turnout. I was very, very pleased and proud of everybody who came and spoke very highly and very well on the vaccination bills. We did have a video on that. There was a full 8-hour hearing. Strongly recommend you watch some of that, all of that, or the Ramthun Report, which is an hour and 23 minutes of that. The other executive I had was in education. Later that morning, we spoke about one bill, AB 196, which is the transgender bill to not allow transgender girls to participate against girls in girls sports. In other words, it's the XY chromosome that wants to play and compete with XX chromosome. I'm on this bill. I support this bill. To me, this bill is a discrimination to the girls in general. We had great pushback in the early 70s where from Title IX and the initiatives with several groups to get girls sports created so they could compete like boys. They could actually earn trophies. They could earn scholarships, ride scholarships to college, beyond college in the amateur and or professional ranks. Having girls athletics and sports is a big part of the educational experience, and to not allow them to have a level playing field, to me, is an injustice. So I'm glad I'm on this bill. I believe it will be on the floor next week as well for passage through the Assembly Chamber, and hopefully it gets to the governor's desk before the end of the month and he can sign off on that. That's it for today. Thank you.
We are very proud of all the families who came to testify for their rights in this very room to make their own medical decisions. And we encourage you to stay tuned with us for next week's floor session where they vote on these bills. Lastly, there have been some major developments and some other very big issues, like keeping Facebook money out of Wisconsin elections, upholding your Second Amendment rights, and getting people back to work that you need to take.
Hello again, everybody. An update on 3 specific bills yesterday from floor sessions with both the Assembly and the Senate. We had in the Senate AB 173 was the bill, the elections-related bill to prevent outside money from influencing elections. That bill also already passed the Assembly, and it is now through the Senate, which means the legislative body has done everything it can. It now moves to the governor's desk for signing. He's indicated he wouldn't sign it. I hope he reconsiders. It's a good bill, and it should be signed into law. The other 2 items I'd like to speak at briefly was basically our agenda for yesterday. We only had 2 bills. We had a joint resolution, number 57, from the Speaker. It was a scheduling resolution, very small issue. We had 4 hours of testimony on 2 bills yesterday. AB 293 was to make Wisconsin a Second Amendment sanctuary state. I'm on that bill, and it passed. A little bit more. It was a bipartisan. We had to have a couple, at least 1, if not 2, Dem votes on there. So technically, it's a bipartisan bill that passed. I hope the governor considers signature on that one. And then AB 336 was the issue to address the federal $300 addition to unemployment per week. We moved as a body yesterday, partisan deal, to approve that within the Assembly. That one moves now to the Senate for passage as well. All these bills have purpose, all of them have merit, all of them have value. It's unfortunate that we may have politics play into this a little bit, but I hope for the best for all 3 bills. Thanks for your time. Bye now.
We cannot stress enough that if you want to see these bills cross the finish line and all the work of the people and the reps have done to get it this far, you need to take action by flooding the governor's emails and voicemails. If he still vetoes what matters to you, then you know what we need to do in 2022. This concludes our 18th episode of the Ramthun Report. Don't forget to check the links below and make a Ramthun request. Remember to share this content with as many of your fellow patriots as possible, because together we can truly restore the principles of a government of, by, and for the people. We will see you next week. God bless you and yours always.